What's going on, guys? Listen, first things first, in recognition of Memorial Day, salute to all the fallen soldiers that have given their lives for our freedoms. Because without folks like them, we couldn't enjoy our lives like this, all right? Let's get to it. We need to take another ride, but this time we're headed south, and I want you guys to take a ride with me. Let's go. What's going on, YouTube? You know who it is. It's your man, Griff. Listen, you know what to do. Hop in that passenger seat, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up like button, and let's roll. All right, guys, Atlantic City, New Jersey. Listen, it's hard for me to come to Atlantic City, New Jersey and not go to the casinos. And then it's also hard for me to come to Atlantic City, New Jersey and not go to Ciocca. So with that being said, I'm headed to the Tropicana right now. So just take this ride with me, guys. I'm going to check in. I'm going to get myself a nice room. And then I'm going to head over to Ciocca and I'm going to get some footage. But what I wanted to go through with you guys, a couple things this week, right? The warning that I issued on the thumbnail. Funny stuff going on. I'll tell you guys all about that. Then I also want to check out the inventory, which once we get there, I'll show you guys what's going on and we'll get some inventory footage and see what's going on at Ciocca. But this warning, this is more funny than anything to me. This car is such a beast. So in the 2023 owner's manual, there's sections in that manual that talk about the Z06. For those of you that have seen the manual are familiar with that. But there are particular pieces of the manual that are specific to the Z06. And there's one piece in particular that just kind of made me laugh a little bit. The manual launch control, okay? It says Z06 model only. And it kind of goes into what you need to do, all right? While the vehicle is in double clutch paddle, D-clutch manual can be activated to gain more. I'm not gonna read all this stuff, but here's the part that jumps out. It made the warning. Now there's a ton of warnings in this manual, okay? First and foremost, there's a ton of warnings, but this is the funny one. When exiting double clutch paddle D-clutch, the vehicle may move rapidly. You could lose control and cause a crash with nearby people or objects. Be ready to release the accelerator pedal or apply the brake immediately if the vehicle moves too quickly. Do not use the double clutch paddle D-clutch when people or objects are near. That just makes me laugh, guys. So you know what's going to happen already when people start taking delivery of these things. I hate to say it, but you're going to have some novice drivers that are going to have not so much fun with their Z06. This is a very, very powerful car. And I advise people that when you get them, if you're not accustomed to driving performance vehicles, that you utilize extreme caution when driving on the streets. It's a very powerful vehicle, and if you're not ready for it, you could be setting yourself up for a little bit of failure, all right? Let's keep riding, guys. We're gonna get ourselves to the Tropicana, and then we're gonna make our way to Ciocca, and we're gonna get some additional footage. Let's go. Listen, for those of you that are not subscribed, I need you guys to subscribe to the channel. I'm out here putting the legwork in for some of us. Some of us don't need it, but for some of us, I'm putting in a little legwork. So do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. You guys got to understand something. There are folks out here that cannot make it to a dealership, right? They live in locations where they're getting their cars. There's no dealership around for them to visit. So I become their eyes to a certain extent. So you have folks that are actually making purchases through Ciocca that have never even been to Ciocca before. So the only visibility that they have into this dealership is through these types of video interactions. So for those of you guys that are not subscribed, do me a favor, get yourself connected, hit that subscribe button, and let's keep it moving. All right, now what did you guys notice there? There's 5 C8s on that showroom floor. That's crazy. The last time I came down to Ciocca, there must have been 20 plus C8s inside and outside of the showroom floor, along with probably 15 C7s. And it hasn't been that long ago since I was there. So there's definitely something going on with inventory. And here's the funny thing. Those 5 cars that are on that showroom floor, those are not resale. Those are not used cars. Those are customer deliveries. So those are new cars that are waiting for folks to either come and get their car or waiting for Ciocca to ship them out. Those are new cars. So there was 0 used C8 inventory at Ciocca at the time that I was there. It's crazy, right? So what's going on? Low production output equals low supply. When supply is low, the demand increases, right? This is just normal stuff I'm going through right here. So what do I think is going on? Why is there no inventory? I think the market is starting to saturate a little bit, starting to get a little bit weak. So you got the big money guys who didn't care about buying a car $10,000, $15,000, $20,000 over MSRP for new. And you got big money guys who didn't care about paying that much over list for a used vehicle. They just wanted the vehicle. So what I think has happened is I think the market is starting to dry up a little bit. All the big money guys that made those purchases, they've kind of squeezed out a little bit. They're gone. I'm not saying there's no more guys, big money guys, that want to buy a used car overvalued, but I'm just saying the majority of those guys, or a lot of those guys, have already made those purchases. So what else is going on here? Well, let's dig into it. So let's look at what else is happening. You got guys like me who sold early, right? So many of us sold our cars at the height of this whole mess and took advantage of the overvalued market. That's what I did. I got rid of my C7. I got a boatload of money for it. But then you have guys that are looking to trade their cars in, okay? Guys that are holding on to their cars right now, saying, well, I'm going to drive my C8. I got a 2020. I'm looking for a 2022 or 2023, but I'm going to drive my car until my allocation comes up, because why should I go without my car? I'm going to enjoy it. When the new one comes in, I'll swap it out. Well, guess what? We have all these constraints going on right now. There's so many different constraints. It's ridiculous. So you have guys that are like, listen, I already have a car. I'm not going to get rid of it and get something substandard to what I really want. So I'll just wait until the constraints go away, and then I'll trade my car in like I planned on doing and take advantage at that point. What does that create? It creates a lack of used car inventory. Here's an example. 10 guys are going to take their allocation, and let's assume that those 10 guys are trading a car in. They're trading in another C8. Well, when the new car comes in, they're going to take advantage of that. They're going to trade their car in, which gives the dealership some used car inventory. So that's 10 potential cars that are sitting on the showroom floor. We don't see those 10 cars. So I think what's happening is all these constraints are causing different issues, throughout this whole, throughout the whole landscape. So that's just my opinion on why I think some of these dealerships are starting to dry up. So for those folks that missed out on the opportunity to take advantage of the overvalue, I don't think you have to worry. I think it's probably going to circle itself back. So let's take a look at something else. All right, so where does that leave us, guys? In the land of opportunity. Remember when I told you guys to make sure you're ready because you never know when you're going to get that call? Well, here we go. There are so many constraints right now that folks are just kind of leaving their orders by the wayside. Plus, there's other stuff going on. Guys, remember when I also told you that there's hardship cases? There are situations where folks put a deposit down and they go dormant. You never hear from them again. I had a couple guys in the comments saying, yeah, Griff, you don't know what you're talking about. I don't know anybody who would be waiting so long for a car and then just leave it there. Well, this is why I tell you guys, I'm your eyes and ears to the dealership sometimes, because I can go to the big primary. I travel. I fly all over the place. And I met with one of the guys, not even my sales guy, but I met with one of the other sales guys. I talked to a bunch of folks there. And I asked the guy directly, I said, do me a favor for my audience. Do you have orders that have just gone dormant, folks that haven't called you back? These guys each, now mind you, there's multiple sales guys, each go in their drawers and they pull out folders about 2 inches thick saying, yeah, here you go. Here's a list of all kinds of issues that we can't fulfill. And if you look at it, when we started this process, guys, there was one big original list, I like to call it. This is your reservation list, your allocation, one big list. Well, what's happening now is that list has become segmented. There's so much going on within this landscape that it's gotten to be ridiculous. With all these constraints and everything, COVID, unfortunately, people passing on. You have situations like that aren't even considered, the hardship cases that I mentioned. But that original list has now segmented into multiple lists, okay? You've got your original list, and then you've got, out of that, you have your mag ride list. I'm gonna take these group of people and put them over here because they only want mag ride. There's constraints going on right now. Here's my non-Z51 list. Here's my no callback list. Here's my financing issues list. These folks are over here that have made it through the process but having problems with financing. They might not be able to get their car. Here's my Z51 list, okay? Guys, there are so many different lists right now that are sitting on the side waiting for something to happen. And guys are basically saying, I'll wait, okay? So if a dealer told you it could be around 16 months after your reservation, stay prepared, guys, because that 16 months could easily turn into a 6 to 8 month process, because there's a lot of folks that are sitting off to the side waiting for the constraints to go away. So definitely be prepared. I cannot stress that enough. Definitely be prepared. So what does it all mean, guys? Well, here's some stats from Car Gurus, just to give you guys an understanding of how crazy these markets are. Nothing crazy here, just some quick year-over-year stats. But what does it mean? On the immediate hand, a lot of the big money buyers of used Corvettes have come and gone. They're still out there, but a lot of those guys bought those cars when that inventory was hot. Guys like me and some of you would never even consider an overpriced used C8. I'm not a big money guy. But what do I think happens in that space? I think that the overvalued resale deals might be fading for right now, just for right now. On the other hand, the semiconductor shortages are targeted to continue through 2024, which means what? Another cycle of what we've all just gone through. Huge low supplies, which recreates the huge demand all over again, which in turn creates the whole overvalued resale deals all over again. This is a crazy time. It's a crazy cycle that we're in, guys, but hang in there. Me personally, I'm not dealing with any constraints. Any constraint that comes up, I just remove it from my order so that I can move on and get my car. I think I told you guys in a previous video, I only plan on keeping this car for 2 to 3 years. I'm not overly satisfied with the manufacturing processes right now. I've always trusted GM and Chevy, and I still do. I just think right now is a very, very difficult time for everybody in this space. So, guys, until next time, enjoy. Have a very safe and wonderful weekend. I'll catch you guys next Sunday. See you.